Welcome back to Attack on Titan Anime Review Special Number 7. This one I'm viewing the 108th chapter of the Attack on Titan manga. Yeah, I'm using a different website because the website I have been using since I started doing these didn't upload the chapter despite the fact it's out. Yep. So, this chapter is called Sound Argument. First starts off with a group of men having a conversation about some stuff that's been going on. And you also get a chance to reveal who was the father of Historia Ross's baby. Yep, that's actually revealed in the first few pages. I'm kind of glad they actually didn't take very long to reveal who the baby is, but as who the baby is, they're like, really? Is this character? Okay. Okay, the baby's father is Zeke. Aaron's older half-brother is the father of Historia Ross's child. What? When I heard this, I'm thinking, Zeke. I mean, I've seen what the guy looks like. He looks like a guy, I'd say probably in his 40s. I'd say he's a much more older guy. Historia is a girl who's about 20ish. She's much more younger than he is, and yet he's the father. And apparently, she's nothing more than a figurehead. Because you see a lot of power, not all of it, a lot of power to the military. Yep. So yeah, that's revealed in just the opening few pages. Yep. And these guys are all drinking wine. There's a conversation with Connie, Jean, Mitsuga, and I don't remember who this other guy is. I don't think it's Jean. It's Armin. Yeah, Armin. Yeah, they're discussing Aaron, see what's on their side. Yeah, they all still believe that he's still on his side. Then we jump ahead 1 year prior. Yeah, one thing I love about this arc, it actually kind of explores what happened during the time skip, which I do appreciate it doing that. I mean, when they started doing this, it seems like they only go as far back as about 2 years, where they jump halfway into the time skip. This one, they jump ahead just a year prior, where they have the Survey Corps building a railroad. Yep, a railroad. Yeah, that's what they're doing, putting together a railroad. I'm like, that is interesting. I never expected to put trains in the on Perotus Island, but hey, we have trains now. And one thing I got to point this out though, there are no Titans around. I think that during the first half of the time skip, they must eliminate all the rest of the Titans. Because the only confirmed Titan that's probably still there is Eren, but he's under control. But as for any roaming Titans, there probably isn't any left. They probably spent the first half of the time skip just taking them all out and take out the ones inside the walls, and of course tearing the walls themselves. Because they mentioned the walls were torn down during the time skip. They must have also killed the Titans as well. Yeah, that's something connected to a story, Russ. They're going to explain in the current season. We also see, I'm trying to think, what was her name? Hines. Yeah, she's there, just talking to the Survey Corps. Yeah, normally the Survey Corps, their job is basically to go out and kill Titans. That's mainly their job. But basically, since there's not much Titans around, they still keep the Survey Corps busy, which I do appreciate them doing that. And apparently it's implied that Garrison Corps has been disbanded. Yes, and the Survey Corps it's basically now a construction crew. But they still do military operations. Also in this chapter, they do reveal the first chronological trends of new 3D gear. Yep. Yes. Stuff basically being chopped behind the walls. We see the first train in the series. Yep, the first actual train in the series. Though it's a small train, but you gotta at least appreciate them actually doing this. And Eren decides to speak. Yeah, of course he's got long hair. This is before he went over to that other country he was infiltrating. He says Zeke only has 2 years left. If you only have more time. He says he only has 5 years left. Okay, that kind of makes sense, because Eren's currently 19. He got his injection. He became a Titan at the age of 10. Yes, at the age of 10, he became a Titan. That's when injected time formula. So, I would say currently, right now, he's got about 4 years left, and Zeke has got like a year left. And they're deciding amongst themselves who inherits his time power. And a lot of them simply volunteer for it. I think Mitsuka volunteers. Jean volunteers. I think he possibly Well, Armin can't exactly volunteer to take Eren's power for a good reason because he's got one himself. But here's the thing: he hasn't had it very long at this point. He's only had it about 3 years, so he's got like 10 years left to live. Yeah, so Eren's got time, but not much for. I would say I believe the fact in case of Zeke, since he only got 2 years left to live. So I'm not surprised that he would say, and of course, Eren's got 5 years left. So it might be a possibility it could be either Mitsuka, Jean, or Connie could be taking Eren's Titan. Though a lot of people are probably suspecting, though the writer himself has not really confirmed this, that, well, there was also a rumor that something that may have happened with Eren and Mitsuka during the time skip. Yeah, this was a rumor swirling around for a little while for the past year that Eren and Mitsuka had a kid during the time skip. It's not been fully explored. It was a leak, but as far as I know, the leak was proved to be false. But I wouldn't be surprised because these two really do have a thing for each other, but it's never fully explored. Though, yeah, and Sasha, I think she's seen here in the flashback, but yeah, she can't be seen present day because Sasha's dead. Yep, she got killed off. I think it was just 3 or 4 chapters ago. Was it actually toward the end of the previous arc when she got killed off? Yeah, there's more conversation. It's a really good set of pages. Them just having a very casual conversation on a train, and then cutting back to present, where they're still talking to see if Eren's on their side. You do see Eren present day briefly in itself, like 1 page. They do a flashback of, if you watch the anime and you watch the final episode of season 2, you recognize this scene. Yeah, of all the Titans, all these Titans ganging up on the bearded Titan, the smiling Titan, the one who killed Eren's mother back in the pilot. Yep. We also get a chance to see Zeke briefly and Eren. Yeah, and Armin puts this good line. We transfer something we can trust into a Titan, and we have them to inherit Eren's fighting Titan power. Yeah, Mitsuka points out that Eren still has time left. Yep. And you do see him briefly for like 2 panels. Yep. Eren makes physical appearance in present day. For just 2 panels. We see a camping site. And there's also a brief fight between a couple of the kids, where one is like drinking some of the water, and they briefly go scuffle. Like the one guy, I don't know who this is, rips off the thing, and of course they start fighting. And the other, I think this is a woman basically telling, I think it's probably her kids. And they'll argue about like a tag. Oh yeah, this is Marley. Yeah, this is basically Marley. Yeah, these 2 kids arguing, and the only reason it was Marley because of this building Eren destroyed in chapter 100. Yeah, it's still been destroyed, and they're just digging through the aftermath now, and it's been 8 chapters since then. Yeah, and they somehow, I think because one of the people must have been killed, they must have somehow stole this 3D maneuver gear from somebody. I'm not sure who they took it from, but yeah. Reiner himself is not seen here. You do see Eren briefly in a flashback, which was actually back, I think it was back for like 102, 103-ish, of Eren basically in his Titan form. Yeah, apparently they have a plan to launch an attack on Paradise Island within 6 months. Basically, at this point in time, because it's present day, which means Zeke has basically less than a year left to live. So he's going to die soon. But the obvious question is, how is he going to die, and who's going to inherit the Beast-type power? It could be anybody. Would I want anybody to inherit it? Possibly, yes. But the thing is, whoever inherits it gets life shortened just 13 years left. Yeah. Zeke must have had it a long time because When you first see him, he's basically in beast time form. Yeah, and then one of the people from the Marley army basically says we have to launch an attack now on Paradise Island, so we might get a chance to see a war coming in the next chapter. I gotta say, this was one interesting chapter. Lots of dialogue, nothing unusual about that. But with this chapter, you definitely, the one thing I do appreciate about Attack on Titan is that the chapters don't stall, or at least have terrible pacing. This one does feel like the series is progressing forward. That's one thing I do appreciate about this series. Like some manga I've read where it feels like the chapter is moving at a snail's pace. This one revealed a few different things. The big thing was who's the father of Astoria's baby. It's Zeke of all people. I don't know why. I mean, why in the world why would this story even want to do a one night stand with Zeke of all people? Wouldn't it be better with one of her closest male friends? Like, I don't know, maybe Armin? Might have been a better choice, but no, it had to be frickin' Zeke. The half-brother of the man who actually saved her life. Yes, back during the Uprising arc. But no, it had to be Zeke for some reason. Yeah, they said they fed, according to what these people said, they said they fed her to him like a puppet. Because all the story is a figurehead. She has virtually almost no power at all because all her power lies in the military. Yeah, I'm still wondering why in the world she did this for. It's one of the most confusing things about her, is the fact that she actually is. She sees most of the power. As the power she has left, I have no idea. No idea indeed. But this is a pretty good chapter. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Fantastic chapter. And I love the dialogue for this particular chapter. And unlike some of the other older arcs that the series had where you have Titans show up a lot of the time, not much Titan stuff in these last couple arcs. I would say in this arc, there is the only time you see any Titans are in flashback. There is no Titan stuff present day. Yeah, it's my theory that all the Titans that are not shifters are all dead. Yes, they must have taken the time after they finally reached the coastline. They must have decided after they resolved the plot point that had been there since back in the first few arcs. They must have taken the time because they finally reached the shoreline. First time any to reach the shoreline. For a lot of kids never seen the ocean at all, and they must have decided to form a plan to eliminate all the Titans out, and I mean every single one of them. So they must have eliminated all of them off panel, and after eliminating all the Titans on the panel, they destroyed the walls, kill the Titans inside the walls, and yeah. But they haven't shown the districts in this particular arc. Yeah, none of the districts that basically the series had, like Rose, Maria, the ones who had walls, they're not shown at all. No, surprisingly, they're not. That's my only slight criticism of this arc, is that, like, what is the fate of these other districts? I mean, Historia, I'm glad to see her, but yeah, I was curious though why she was pregnant, and they revealed, and of course the whole revelation of Zeke being the father, that was completely out of left field. Yep. But still a good chapter nonetheless, okay? Okay, so that's particularly it for this particular review. Stay tuned for... Now, the next chapter will come out next month. One thing I do appreciate with this series, it comes out on time. And luckily enough, unlike the last few chapters, I didn't wait too long until the next chapter came out. I basically read this. Now, this chapter only came out just this week. So, it was like less than 2 days ago this chapter came out. And I'm so happy I actually got a chance to read it, because this chapter was really, really good. I'm still curious, though, when in the world's next chapter of Boruto will come out? Yeah, it's all the same thing with One Punch Man. With this one, you can never tell whenever the manga comes out, because there's always something. Yeah, I would have thought it would come out last week, but it didn't. Nope, it did not. But yeah, so until I see my next review, bye.